At 72 years old, Mrs. Helen Tran considered herself lucky. She still lived in the same cozy bedroom she had shared with her late husband, surrounded by family photos and cherished memories. But one winter night, everything changed. Helen woke up at 3 a.m. to use the bathroom. She didn't turn on the light. She didn't want to wake her grandson down the hall. As she stood up from her bed, her foot caught on a thick rug near the nightstand. She fell, unable to get up. It took hours before anyone realized she was hurt. Sadly, Helen's story isn't unique. Thousands of seniors experience similar accidents every year, many of which are entirely preventable. We often think of home as our safest place. But for older adults, especially after the age of 65, the bedroom can become a hidden danger zone. Dim lighting, cluttered floors, beds that are too high or too low, and a lack of proper support devices can quickly turn a peaceful night into a terrifying experience. That's why this guide matters. In this comprehensive and emotional journey, we're going to walk together through the overlooked hazards of the bedroom and, more importantly, discover the simple but powerful changes that can transform a senior sleeping space into a true haven. You won't find generic tips here. Instead, you'll learn how soft ambient lighting can gently guide nighttime movement, why the layout of your room matters more than you think, how bed height can be the difference between independence and injury, which support devices quietly but powerfully protect mobility, and how all of these together create a safer, more comforting space. More than just a list of advice, this is a heartfelt guide told through relatable moments and anchored by real-world solutions that empowers families, caregivers, and seniors themselves to take small steps that lead to greater safety, dignity, and peace of mind. Every chapter will focus on a specific area, from lighting to assistive equipment, each woven into touching stories and actionable recommendations. By the end, you'll have a clear, compassionate path forward to a safer bedroom and better sleep. Let's begin this journey together with care, clarity, and the belief that aging can be graceful, safe, and full of dignity. Chapter 1: When the darkness becomes a danger. Eleanor had always been proud of her independence. At 78, she still enjoyed her morning tea, read the newspaper without glasses, and managed her cozy one-bedroom home in the quiet suburbs of Vermont. But one chilly autumn night, everything changed. It happened just past midnight. A sudden urge to use the bathroom pulled Eleanor from her sleep. The room was dark, darker than usual because the nightlight had flickered out earlier that week, and she hadn't thought much of it. She swung her feet to the floor, stood up too quickly, and in the next moment lost her balance. The sharp crack of her fall echoed down the hallway. Alone, disoriented, and frightened, Eleanor lay still on the floor for nearly an hour before she could crawl to her nightstand and reach the phone. That night could have ended much worse, but it didn't have to happen at all. Eleanor's story is heartbreakingly common. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 4 Americans age 65 and older falls each year. And many of these accidents happen right in the bedroom. But why? Because the bedroom, which should be the safest space in a senior's home, is often overlooked when it comes to fall prevention and nighttime safety. In this chapter, we begin our journey by acknowledging a truth we rarely speak aloud. Aging changes everything. The eyes that once adjusted quickly to the dark now need help. The reflexes that once caught a stumble now falter. The body that once rose effortlessly from bed now craves support and steadiness. But here's the good news. It doesn't take much to make the bedroom safer. A few thoughtful changes can transform it from a place of potential risk into a sanctuary of comfort, confidence, and calm. We will walk together through the exact elements that make a senior's bedroom safe, from lighting that soothes and guides, to decluttered walkways that ensure every step is secure, to the right bed height for easy movement and assistive devices that empower independence. Because no one should fear the dark. Because restful sleep should never be interrupted by injury. Because safety doesn't have to mean sacrifice. And because every senior deserves a space that welcomes them each night and protects them until morning. Let's begin by shedding light, quite literally, on one of the most underestimated yet crucial aspects of bedroom safety: illumination. Chapter 2: Let There Be Light, Illuminating the Path to Safety. Mornings used to be Eleanor's favorite part of the day. The soft golden light, the smell of toast and honey, the calm stillness before the world woke up. But after her fall, mornings became shadows, hesitation instead of comfort. She feared getting out of bed, afraid the darkness might betray her again. It wasn't just about the fall, it was about what she couldn't see. The nightstand edge, the wrinkle in the rug, the hallway's hidden corners, none of them were visible when she needed them to be. That's when her daughter installed a warm-tone nightlight near the baseboard and another by the bathroom door. Eleanor didn't realize how powerful such a small change could be. For the first time in weeks, she got up without holding her breath. The path was clear, her anxiety began to ease. Good lighting does more than brighten a room. It gives confidence, security, and direction. For seniors, whose eyes naturally adjust more slowly to the dark, lighting is one of the most important layers of protection. Soft, non-intrusive light near the bed, preferably amber or warm white, should gently illuminate the space without disturbing sleep. Motion sensor lights along the floor are incredibly helpful. They flicker on with movement, offering light only when needed. Sensor nightlights in the hallway and bathroom provide clear orientation, especially for those midnight trips that can no longer be made on instinct. And don't forget the main light switch. If it's too far from the bed, it becomes useless when it matters most. Install a second switch or a remote-controlled light that can be activated from the bed itself. Aging doesn't need to mean fumbling in the dark. It's also wise to keep flashlights near the bed in case of power outages. Choose models with wide beams and large buttons, easy to use for hands that may shake or tire. Because the truth is, light isn't just a utility, it's a form of care. It's a way of saying, I want you to feel safe, even in the quiet hours, even in the dark. And for seniors like Eleanor, who once feared the morning, a softly glowing light is the first whisper that everything is okay, that the room is on her side now. Chapter 3. Creating Clear and Safe Pathways, the Invisible Lifeline at Night. There's something deeply comforting about knowing where your feet will land, especially in the quiet, vulnerable hours of the night. For seniors, this certainty can be the difference between a peaceful trip to the bathroom and a terrifying fall. Margaret, 79, learned this the hard way. A retired seamstress who once spent her days dancing between pins and fabric, she now lived alone in the same cozy home she had shared with her late husband. Her bedroom, once a sanctuary, had gradually become a maze of forgotten shoes, laundry baskets, and magazine stacks. One night, feeling a sudden urge to use the restroom, she rose without turning on a light, tripped over an open drawer left ajar, and suffered a fractured wrist and deep bruising. When her daughter visited the hospital the next day, she didn't just bring flowers, she brought change. The moment Margaret returned home, they got to work. The path to safety begins with simplicity. The most important principle when it comes to bedroom safety is clear. The fewer obstacles, the safer the walk. Seniors often wake up disoriented. Even when fully alert, impaired vision, balance issues, or a touch of arthritis can make every step riskier than it used to be. A clean, open path from the bed to the door or bathroom is not a luxury. It's essential. Here are the key changes Margaret and her daughter made, and ones you can consider right away. Remove low-lying hazards. Small rugs, floor fans, pet beds, and even extension cords were all relocated or removed. Consolidate essentials. A single bedside drawer now holds her glasses, phone, flashlight, and water bottle. No more fumbling around the room. Declutter the floor. Shoes are placed on a rack by the closet, and laundry goes into a bin with a lid tucked into the corner. Everything now has a home, off the floor. Nighttime walks with confidence. The role of floor lighting. Even the clearest walkway can become treacherous if the room is dark. While the previous chapter tackled ambient lighting, this one focuses on pathway lighting, a form of guidance that's less about brightness and more about direction. Floor-level LED strips. These are motion-activated and turn on gently when someone gets out of bed. They provide just enough light to illuminate the ground without disrupting melatonin production or waking the brain too much. Sensor-activated hallway lights. If the bathroom is outside the bedroom, install lights along the hallway floor or walls. Margaret used soft amber lights that turned on one by one as she walked, a comforting, almost magical glow that led her safely where she needed to go. Furniture placement. flow over form. In many homes, furniture is placed with design in mind, but in a senior's bedroom, safety should lead style. Beds, nightstands, chairs, and even decorative objects should never interrupt the natural flow of movement. Space to turn. Ensure there's enough room between pieces of furniture for a walker or cane. Even if not currently used, preparing now means you won't have to panic later. No sharp corners near the bed. Opt for rounded nightstands or place padded guards on sharp edges. Falling onto a pointed surface can turn a minor stumble into a major injury. Keep doors wide open. Doors to the hallway or bathroom should always swing open fully and not be blocked by towels or hooks. Cognitive support through familiar layouts. As memory and cognitive processing slow with age, even subtle changes in the bedroom layout can confuse and increase fall risk. Keep layout consistent. Avoid rearranging furniture frequently. Muscle memory is a powerful ally. Visual anchors. Use contrast-colored rugs, non-slip of course, or small signs for direction, especially helpful for seniors with mild dementia or cognitive decline. When assisted devices make all the difference. Some seniors may need a little extra support, not just furniture placement and lighting, but physical aids. Here are some low-profile, highly effective tools. Bedside rails. Not just for getting in and out of bed, they help provide orientation when waking and prevent falls during groggy moments. Grab bars along the pathway, especially if balance is a concern. These can be life-changing. Modern models even double as stylish railings. Anti-fatigue mats. If standing for a few moments near the dresser or closet is part of the routine, a thick, non-slip mat can reduce joint pressure and prevent slipping. From fear to freedom, a personal triumph. 2 months after her fall, Margaret invited friends over for her birthday. They were amazed, not just at how well she was walking again, but at the transformation of her bedroom. Gone was the clutter, gone were the dim corners. In their place was a room filled with thoughtful details, a bedside lamp that glowed like the sun rising, a smooth floor that gently guided her steps, and the confidence that she could move without fear. "It's strange," she said, smiling. "I didn't realize how much anxiety I was carrying until it was gone." In the end, safety is about more than avoiding accidents. It's about reclaiming peace of mind, especially in the space where we begin and end each day. Chapter 4. The right bed height. A small shift that changes everything. It may seem like a small detail, the height of a bed, but for seniors, it can mean the difference between safe independence and dangerous struggle. For 79-year-old Mr. Gwynn, the simple act of getting out of bed had become increasingly difficult. Each morning he would scoot to the edge, dangle his feet, and brace himself, hoping he wouldn't slip. His bed, though comfortable, was simply too high. Many older adults face this same silent hazard. A bed that's too high causes instability when trying to get up. A bed too low can strain weak knees or a sore back. The ideal height is where both feet can rest flat on the ground when seated, with knees at a natural 90-degree angle, or slightly lower than the hips. After a minor fall during a morning stretch, Mr. Nguyen's daughter replaced his bed frame with a lower, adjustable base. The transformation was immediate. Easier mornings, less pain, and restored confidence. "It's amazing how something so simple changed so much," he said. For seniors, adjusting bed height isn't a luxury, it's a safety necessity. Measuring from the floor to the back of the knees and matching that with the bed height can make all the difference. Add stability by ensuring the bed doesn't wobble or shift and that the surrounding space remains clear. Safety doesn't always come from big changes. Sometimes it's as simple as sitting, standing, and moving without fear. Chapter 5. Support devices that offer dignity and security. When 82-year-old Mrs. Lan fell beside her bed one rainy night, she wasn't trying anything risky, just reaching for her water bottle. That moment, so ordinary and brief, changed her life for weeks. It wasn't just the physical pain that followed, but the fear of falling again, the fear of being alone. But it didn't have to be this way. Installing bedside support devices can turn fear into confidence. A sturdy handrail, securely fixed next to the bed, helps seniors like Mrs. Lan turn, rise, or lower themselves without strain. These rails are not just metal bars. They are quiet companions of safety, always within reach. Then there are adjustable bedside tables with wheels, perfectly sized to keep essential items like glasses, medications, and water nearby. No more risky stretches or awkward movements in the dark. Some even come with locking wheels to prevent slipping. For those living alone, a personal alarm system, whether worn as a bracelet, pendant, or kept on the bedside table, allows seniors to call for help with a single press. And for caregivers, fall detection mats beside the bed offer peace of mind, alerting them immediately if something goes wrong. Mrs. Land now sleeps better, not just because of the devices around her, but because of what they give her: control, dignity, and reassurance. That is the true value of these simple tools. Not just preventing accidents, but restoring a sense of peace in the most personal space of all, her bedroom. Chapter 6. Nighttime Safety. Small changes that save lives. For Mr. Bin 79, the hardest part of aging wasn't walking slower or hearing less. It was the nights. Those dark, quiet hours when everything seemed more dangerous. One fall in the hallway at 2 a.m. was all it took to shake his confidence completely. But what if we could change that fear? Not with expensive renovations, but with small, thoughtful adjustments. Lighting is the first key. Motion sensor nightlights along the path from bed to bathroom ensure that no step is taken in darkness. They don't blind but guide, soft glows that follow your movement like gentle stars in a hallway. Even a simple plug-in light near the door or under the bed can help someone feel oriented and safe when they wake. Bathroom trips are common at night, so keeping non-slip slippers by the bed and a dry floor mat near the restroom becomes essential. These aren't luxuries, they're quiet guardians that prevent slips and injuries when the body is at its most vulnerable. Then of course there's hydration. A spill-proof cup of water on a bedside table can prevent dizziness caused by dehydration in the middle of the night, and having essential medications within arm's reach without the need to stand offers added peace of mind. And finally, one of the most overlooked elements, sound. A soft white noise machine or calming background music can help seniors fall back asleep more easily after waking, instead of lying awake filled with worry. Mr. Bin made all these changes with the help of his daughter, and now he hasn't fallen in over a year. More importantly, he says he no longer dreads the night. It feels like home again, safe, warm, and under control. Because with just a few thoughtful choices, we can make the night feel less like a threat and more like the peaceful rest it was always meant to be. Chapter 7. Empowering Independence. Devices that offer dignity. Mrs. Lam had always valued her independence. Even at 82, she insisted on making her own tea, folding her laundry, and getting ready for bed by herself. But after a minor fall beside her bed one winter morning, her children begged her to consider having a caregiver nearby. She refused, not out of pride, but out of hope that there must be another way. That's when her son installed a bedside support rail, sleek, sturdy, and easy to grip. It wasn't invasive. It didn't change the look of her room, but it changed everything for her confidence. Small assistive devices, when chosen well, do more than provide safety. They restore dignity. A bedside rail, for example, can help someone sit up and stand safely without assistance. A bedside table on wheels gives them access to water, glasses, medication, and even a good book, all within reach, without needing to stretch or shuffle. These details matter. For more tech-savvy elders, a personal alarm device like a pendant or wristband with an emergency button offers priceless peace of mind. In the event of a fall or faintness, help can be summoned instantly. And for those caring for loved ones from afar, fall detection mats that send alerts to phones or care centers can be life-saving. These aren't signs of weakness, they're tools of freedom. They say, "I can still do this, I just do it with a little help." Mrs. Land now sleeps better, her family too, because the right tools didn't take away her independence, they extended it. Conclusion: a safe bedroom, a peaceful heart. If there's one thing we've learned, it's this: safety isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. The freedom to rest, to move, to age with grace and confidence. From soft lighting that eases nighttime navigation to carefully chosen bed height, from clear walkways to supportive devices, every choice we make transforms a bedroom from a place of worry into a place of warmth and security. You don't need to wait for an accident to start making changes. In fact, the best time to act is before something happens. And if you're watching this video, it means you care for yourself, for your parents, for someone who deserves a room that protects as much as it comforts. So here's our heartfelt advice. Take one idea from this video and act on it today. Then take another next week. Each step you take is a gift, not just of safety, but of peace of mind. Thank you for staying with us on this journey. If this content touched you, helped you, or gave you insight, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone you care about. And until we meet again in the next video, we wish you nights full of safety, comfort, and deep, healing rest.